Every man's journey begins with a stimulation. You pull up a video on YouTube, the influencer says, hit the gym, lift heavy weights, read 30 pages a day. At the initial stages of your journey, you would enjoy some kind of momentary success. However, over a long enough time frame, your results or your efforts begin to produce diminishing returns. What that means, diminishing returns now, for those of you who don't understand, the marginal output decreases for an increase in marginal input, assuming all determinants are constant. In plain English, it means as you increase your effort, as you increase your input, the output decreases. I know it sounds counterintuitive to every single thing you've learned up until this point. It's usually more effort, more results. I mean, if you go to the gym, if you work as hard as possible, you should tear down more muscles that will be rebuilt. Let me give you an example. If I hand a thirsty individual a water bottle, he's going to enjoy it easy. If I hand him another one, three, four, five, once he gets to the sixth, he derives less and less satisfaction for each water bottle he consumes. So it gets to a point where he can no longer take it. So more effort, more bottled water produces less satisfaction. In this case, this is a very basic example. I don't want to delve into different shades of nuances, but you get the point. A guy came up to me recently. He said, I want to be the best speaker. Okay, why? To prove people wrong. Show me. He flips his phone, opens up YouTube. I watch him for about half an hour or so. Amazingly, he was good at what he does. Then I said, let's watch Jim Rohn, arguably one of the best motivational speakers to have walked the earth. And after 10 minutes, I asked him a question. What's the difference between the two? He started sobbing, began to cry. I, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Now, that experience was a sermon, not just to him, but to me as well. Happiness is a choice. He already had the tools, he said, that would make him happy once he had them, but was just unconscious to the fact they were in his presence. So always work in the consciousness that happiness is a choice. Stop putting it out to some externalities. When I get a car, when I build this house, then I'll feel this way. The chances of that thing happening, let alone you feeling happy when you attain that experience, is very slim. Am I preaching complacency? Of course not. I detest laziness and platooning or camping around the result. But you should be blissfully dissatisfied in the sense that I'm currently putting in effort to go to the next level. But that next level doesn't define my needs. It doesn't define how I interact with people. I don't need to put on a $2,000 suit to feel confident or to act that girl out. You get the point. Everything is internally generated. Once an athlete wins the marathon, No one whispers to his or her ear, it's time to release dopamine. Of course not. It is instantly generated. So for as long as you can trick your mind to always be happy with the situation. And when I say happiness, I don't mean being diddlish like a kid on a Christmas morning. No, that's not what I mean. Blissfully dissatisfied with your scenario. Another trap you should avoid is the trap of perfection. Something happened very, very recently, and like very recently, I mean very, very recently. I was offered to speak to hundreds of thousands of people. My thought was, I need to prepare. I began drafting my slides, and with every sentence I inked upon that piece of paper, I noticed something different. It was no longer about enlightening the audience. It was no longer about inspiring people. It was now to prove a point. And with every text I drafted is breaking another layer of self-imposed limitation that you have to do something in order to feel worthy. That mindset is very destructive. Many of you in your career path, you always feel that you need to do that activity you've been doing for years and years in order to feel you still have it. I had to switch and remind myself of all of the amazing things I've accomplished, from living a very difficult life to having painful experience that is worth talking about, by extension, distilling wisdom from the pain factor and not acting emotionally or cursing the world. Why me? And all of these childish acronyms and perceptions people give to the circumstances these days. Some of you, as I initially stated, do not believe in your skill. Although you labor day in and day out to compound this skill, yet you don't still feel worthy. You feel like you have to do something external in order to believe you can do it. It's like putting a piece of cake amidst a hungry, stricken children. It's like putting a piece of cake amidst hungry, stricken children. You'll be restless. Every single opportunity you get, you will check on the piece of cake. You will get up in the middle of the night, sweating bullets because the object isn't safe. There are threats. You see this with athletes. You sprint, not because you want to increase your speed, but to remind yourself you still have it. It's a terrible way to live, to be insecure about whatever skill or whatever product you're offering. Some of you have to shout at your employees just to remind yourself that you're the boss, or go out of your way to humiliate some underling to remind yourself you've achieved a little bit of success. It is a painful and terrible way to live. One way to combat perfectionism is to deliberately do something imperfectly, stutter deliberately, do things out of the ordinary. For instance, record by 5 p.m. when you know all the lightings are terrible and the sun is down. It's most likely that your video will come out very blurry, by extension reducing the quality. Now, I'm not asking you to go spank a lady, because when your ass is in jail, sleeping on that cold tile, I'm here chilling. So do not go out of your way to sleep with someone who is not your partner. You would lose the house. So you understand what I mean. Commit harmless mistakes, and enjoy whatever emotion it is you're feeling, and you'll be fine. So if there are two things you've gotten from this short lecture: having to do something external before you feel worthy is very destructive. It has to be self-generated. The second one is working hard to also feel worthy is equally as destructive. Happiness is a choice. You don't need something to make you happy. You don't need something to make you feel confident. And I believe these objectives we are achieved. And as always, my friend, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.